Now on to the real purpose that I'm up here for tonight, and that's to present the 2012 United Way Joe Morris Labour Community Service Award, and to its recipient this year, David Black. Now, David isn't going to remember this, and I wasn't going to tell this story, but David and I actually met about just over 20 years ago. We were at UBC at the same time together. And as you may or may not know if you went to UBC, but all of the youth versions of the political parties are forced to share one office. So from the young NDP to back in those days, the young progressive conservatives, and everybody in the middle was all in one office. And David, as you well know, was a member of the young NDP, and I, unfortunately, was a member of the young something else that no longer exists. I was new to Canada. I didn't know where to go. They were nice. They said they'd take care of me. But I remember being fairly new to Canada, and it was David and I on our own in this office one day. And he said, look, I'm going to take pity on you because I know you're Australian and you're new. And I'm going to tell you about politics in Canada. So he said, I want you to put this visual in your head. Think of a mountain, and at the bottom of a mountain is a fence right around the mountain. He said the NDP has the moral high ground on one side of the fence. On the other side of the fence, the progressive conservatives in the gutter. The Liberals have the fence posts stuck up the behind, and the Green Party is trying to make the fence grow. And that was my welcome to Canadian politics. I'd also say that the NDP kept a bottle of scotch in their desk. And yes, we drank it, and that's why you don't trust Tories. But on to David today. David became politically active at age 5, which is about the time he went to UBC, when he attended a rally against nuclear testing at Amchitka in Alaska's Aleutian Islands. He's come a long way, and today he's the president of COPE 378, which represents over 13,000 public and private sector employees. And there he strives to improve working conditions and quality of life for workers, their families, and their communities. David's a tireless volunteer, concentrating his efforts in East Vancouver, helping found the North Hastings Community Police Office, and serving on the boards of the Margaret Mitchell Fund for Women and the REACH Community Health Clinic. David considers his work on the board of REACH one of his proudest achievements. The clinic provides salaried doctors and other healthcare professionals all in one site. During David's tenure, REACH moved into the local community through health forums on topics ranging from dental health for First Nations populations to drug and alcohol harm reduction. His 3 daughters have further fueled his desire for a world that cares about compassion and equality. Elevating our collective quality of life pushed him to volunteer for a number of organizations, including, thankfully, the United Way. David has been a United Way supporter and activist for many years. He served as a Labour member on United Way of the Lower Mainland's Board of Directors and as chair of the Labour Committee of the board, where he helped guide the organization as it expanded its mandate to include research, community investment, and advocacy. David encouraged workplace campaigns at ICBC and COPE 378. And for those of you who don't know, ICBC has traditionally been one of United Way of British Columbia's strongest campaigns. He's promoted the Union Counselling Program and instructed courses at the CLC Harrison Winter School. David has also represented United Way of the Lower Mainland on the board of the Vancouver Foundation, Canada's largest community foundation. And finally, please join me in a big round of applause for United Way of the Lower Mainland, Joe Morris Labour Community Service Award winner, David Black.
Just told Yuri that one day I'll get to tell stories about him, but that's not tonight. So I was told that I had 2 to 3 minutes and no more than that, so I will try my best to stick to that. First of all, I want to thank the staff, board, and volunteers of the agencies funded by the United Way for the impact they have on our community every day. While I'm very grateful for this award, it would mean nothing without the work that they do every day for all of us in the Lower Mainland. I also want to thank the staff at the United Way that do such great work, identifying community needs, developing strategies to raise money, going out and actually raising the money, liaising with the agencies and community groups on how best to allocate those donated resources, and support the many volunteers who make the United Way the great organization that it is. And this includes the Labour Department, which has been so supportive of me and my Labour colleagues on the board and campaign cabinet of the United Way. Thanks to Merv, Dilip, and Jackie, and also to Ken and Judy for all of their help. I want to thank you to Michael Mennite and Ron Dumichel before him, the two CEOs I worked with on the United Way board, along with Linda Stady, who had always made me feel welcome and valuable on the board. I also want to recognize many of the colleagues who served with me on the board over the years, but especially the Labour folks, Patrice Pratt, who, despite myself giving her such a bad time as NDP party president, took the time and graciously showed me the ropes on the United Way. John Brennan, Ann Chambers, Brian Nassau, Michelle Laurie, Bill Saunders, Carolyn Rice, and Judy Fillion, my Labour comrades. I can't see any of you with these lights. So. This award is also shared by those I've had the privilege of working with in community service, whether it's the Margaret Mitchell Fund for Women, the Hastings North Community Policing Centre, the Vancouver Foundation, and especially the Reach Health Clinic on Commercial Drive in Vancouver. While it's my name going on this award, the true recipients of this award are the members of COPE 378 in workplaces across the Lower Mainland who give so generously to the United Way of their time and their money. It's also to the elected officers of COPE 378 whose commitment to the United Way runs very deep. Former President and award recipient Andrew Ross supported, encouraged, and guided both my involvement and our union's involvement in the United Way and the general community. Thank you all. I want to take a moment to thank the staff of COPE 378. If I ever look good, or people think I'm doing good, and deserving of any award, it only proves how capable and creative they are in using their magic to make it appear thus. My family has provided both guidance and inspiration. From remarkably supportive and loving in-laws to my own grandparents who are all supporters of the trade union movement. My brothers who are here tonight, both proud members of the Vancouver Police Union, who are fathers and wonderful comrades all my life through misadventures, thick and thin, and their partners and their children's, my nephews and nieces. To my father, who risked his job as a school principal and his family's security by doggedly refusing to cross a picket line of the teachers. And my mother, who's largely responsible for December 6th being the Day of Action on Violence Against Women that we're marking tonight. They have always pointed me in the right direction, been role models for me to follow, and guided me in my own life decisions. Like Laurie, I didn't always take their advice, but it was the good ones that got me here where I am today. Finally, to my daughters, Kate, Maggie, and Rebecca, who have given me renewed personal reasons to renew my commitment for a better future, especially for girls and women, and provide inspiration to me every day to keep working for social change. And lastly, to Maya for accommodating all the late nights, work trips out of town, and general absences from the house that would probably make her feel like a single parent at times. Without your support, guidance, and motivation, I don't know what I'd be. I love you. This award is for you as much as it is for me, and thank you all very much.